Some people are very opinionated about makeup these days. I, for one, wish people would just make up their minds. G'day there guys, it's your main man Markee and welcome back to another episode of r/AmITheA. Now, if you love today's bloody good stories, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the Barbie, and have a good time. Thank you. Am I the asshole for asking my wife to lighten up about makeup? So my 32 male, wife, 29 female and I have been together for 5 years, married for just over 2. One issue that's cropped up over our entire relationship is her refusal to ever wear makeup. I think she's beautiful without it, but there have been times and occasions where it was expected and appropriate for her to wear makeup and she refused. For example, she didn't wear any makeup on our wedding day. Both of our mothers tried to convince her, but she said she's never worn makeup and she wasn't going to start on a day that she was supposed to enjoy. They tried to tell her the pictures wouldn't come out as good, and honestly, they were kinda right. She's got huge bags under her eyes, and I think the photos would have been nicer if she'd just put on concealer or something. Now it's come up again with my family. We were at a family dinner last night with my parents, sister, and her husband, and my niece and nephew. My niece is 11 and has just started getting into makeup. She watches lots of YouTube tutorials and stuff like that. She asked my wife at dinner if she ever wore makeup, and my wife said no. I don't bother with that. My niece asked why, and she gave a little speech about makeup being a waste of money, and that she'd feel like she was lying to herself if she wore it, and that she was happy with the face I have. My sister got mad and said that she wore makeup a lot of the time and didn't feel like she was lying to herself, and that it actually made her feel good. My wife responded, "Oh yeah, I bet you could quit anytime you want," and then kinda laughed, which set my sister off, and let's just say, the rest of the evening was not enjoyable. When we got home, I asked my wife if she would please be less militant about makeup. I said it wouldn't kill her to wear it, and I admit I did accuse her of being overbearing about her stance. She basically said that she never started conversations about makeup, but that it's always other people bugging her to wear it. And I said maybe they have a point and you're being a hardline over something really stupid, and you need to get over yourself. And she got upset and called me a dick for thinking she needed makeup, and then we had to go cool down separately. Am I the asshole for thinking she's being ridiculous about makeup and telling her to get over her aversion? I think, in all honesty, it's not your place to be saying these things. Much like it's not her place to be telling you to go wear makeup or not to wear makeup. I don't get why you think it's this important that you need to basically force her to do it. I'm getting the vibes that you're trying to peer pressure her and somewhat force her into wearing makeup because you're upset that she hasn't, and you feel like she ruined your wedding, and now she's ruining the lives of others, like this person that she's just had an interaction with. I don't think when you went to go cool down away from your wife that you thought long and hard enough about your actions and what you've done wrong here. I think you believe that what you're doing is the right thing, and you refuse to look at it from her perspective. So my stance is you're the asshole for this one. This is no hill to die on, yet you're choosing to go 6 feet deep. Now in the comments, Xenomouse says, "Info. Did you wear concealer under your eyes at your wedding? I'm just saying, you would have looked a lot better in the pictures if you did." This needs to be higher up. It's such a disgusting standard that women have to put on paint to make themselves more attractive to other people, but guys can just roll out of bed and expect the world to accept them. Until men start wearing makeup regularly and shaving their legs, their opinion on whether or not a woman does it does not matter in the slightest. Honestly, it looks like we're heading this way, and it's kinda depressing. When I was a young woman and didn't wear makeup, I thought it would lead to a future where we all didn't wear makeup. Instead, makeup companies are finally cluing into the fact that they can make more money by making men feel like crap about their bodies and faces too. Or, and hear me out here, some people like makeup regardless of society's beauty standards. It's okay to wear makeup if you like it. It's okay to not wear makeup if you don't want to. It's okay to eat some meat if you like it. It's okay to not eat any. As long as you have a balanced diet, nobody should force you to change. It's okay for a man to wear a skirt. No, I'm not talking of kilts here, if he wants to. as much as it's okay to never wear any. It's okay for a woman to shave her head if she wants to, as much as it's okay to never cut her hair, etc. What is not okay is to force people to do what they don't want to, as long as they don't hurt anyone, and gendered social pressure has to die. Huge you're the asshole. You like makeup so much, you wear it. Yeah, I agree, you're the asshole. If she doesn't want to wear makeup, she doesn't have to. I mean, I'm a dude and wouldn't wear makeup no matter what, just to look better for photos or anything. So why would I expect my wife to? Edit. Basically telling someone to wear makeup is like saying they need something to cover up their imperfections. At least that's how I think it. Not something you would want to tell your partner. Especially if you've dated someone to the point of marrying them and they have never worn it once so far in your presence. Why on earth would you expect the wedding to be any different than how you've already come to know them over the course of your dating and such? Isn't it generally seen as a good thing that people don't magically and suddenly change on their wedding days, like Shrek? It's almost like OP knew what he was in for and can't accept his wife as she wants to be. Shame on you, OP. Our next post is by user UserisMe, titled, Am I the asshole for only taking my younger brother out instead of our other half siblings? So my brother, 16 male, and I, 24 male, are pretty close. When we were younger, my dad left us and our mom. Turns out for years he had a secret family with another woman that he decided that he wanted to be with. For years we stopped having contact, and I hated my dad for how he broke our mom. When I was 20, my mom passed away, and my dad came back to our lives. My brother was only 12. Bro was to go with my mom, sis, but my dad stopped that because he wanted him with them. I wished he could come with me, but I didn't have the money to take care of him since I was still in school. My brother hates it there. They have got 4 other kids. One half-brother who's a year older, then one the same age as my brother, and 2 who are 14, twins, and the youngest I think is like 12. They all give him crap and I've seen it too. They make jokes about how our dad chooses them over us and says crap about our mom. His wife doesn't like my brother, so she doesn't do anything but encourage it. My dad's a frickin' coward, so he doesn't do crap either. I try to spend every weekend or free time I've got with my brother. We always go out to fun places. I'm out of school and working, so it's easier to see him every day or have him sleep over. My dad lets me see him whenever I want, and knows he can't say no to me because we have a deal. The thing is, his wife and my half-siblings get mad now that I take him all to these cool places like Six Flags, Universal Studios, the Grand Canyon, skiing, footy games, snorkeling, camping, horse riding, etc. And they're always stuck at home. My dad keeps asking me if I could start including them on our outings, and I told him no. Not with how he lets them treat him and my brother can't stand them. Him and his wife keep saying I'm alienating my other family, and maybe if I started including them, we'd learn to get along. Still, I've said no, and told my dad to drop it or I'll go back on our deal. He's stopped pushing it, but wife still keeps saying stuff whenever I come to pick up my brother. They're mostly mad now because in a few weeks I'm flying my brother to Florida for his birthday so we can check out the amusement parks. Some of my friends do think I'm being the asshole because they are my siblings and I'm the oldest, so I should be trying to get along. I just don't want to do anything to them for always being crap to my brother. Am I the asshole? They may, by proxy, be your siblings because your dad chose to go with this woman and set up a family with them, but you don't actually have to take them along to everything that you want to do. And this issue gets brought up a lot on Am I the Asshole of bringing such a large amount of kids to so many different places really starts to cost a lot of money. I don't think you could afford it considering the information you've given us about you still being in school. I'm surprised you're able to afford it with just you and your brother. Those places are bloody expensive, especially when I spent my times in the States. Interesting little dilemma you have on your hands here, OP, but if I were you, I wouldn't do it, and I wouldn't feel bad about not taking all of them on these trips. That's just, free daycare that your parents are trying to get you to do? No, not the asshole. Screw them, let them raise their own kids. Now in the comments, Ben Skywalker70 says, not the asshole, but info. What's this deal you have with your father? Also, if you went for custody for your brother, then the courts would probably grant it, especially if the judge asks your brother where he wants to live. And OP replies, I don't tell his wife stuff about him since that will F up their marriage. It's the only leverage I have, or he wouldn't let me see my brother. I don't know if a court would allow that, even if my brother said he wants to live with me since it's my dad. 40 Miles Away replies, as soon as your brother is out of that house and away from those awful kids, tell your dad's wife all about your dad. Make sure his other children are in the room too. Then when you're done, just look at your dad and say oops, and walk out. But I'm petty like that. OP replies, that's the plan basically. Shrug. Moral of the story, if you're gonna cheat, don't drunk text your kid. They might have enough free time to follow you and get some dirt. Our next post is by user Lady Dree Lee, titled, Am I the asshole for refusing to get my fiancé a birthday present? So my future mother-in-law decided that she was going to plan a vacation with her family, which included her husband, my father-in-law, my fiancé, and his 2 sons. My 2 kids and I were not invited, not even if I paid for myself and my kids. She planned this 5-day vacation during my fiancé's birthday. So not only were my kids and I not invited, but he won't even be spending his birthday with us too. He doesn't like that we aren't invited, but he's not turning down a free vacation either. Well, what he thought was free. After she invited him and his boys and made all the plans and purchased the tickets, she told him she'd pay for their accommodations, but he had to help pay for everything else. He barely makes enough money to cover his own bills and part of our shared bills, mortgage and utilities. Usually I make up the difference. So he asked if he can get money as a present for his birthday from me and the kids. I told him if he can't even spend his birthday with us by going up to the vacation site later, then I wouldn't be getting him anything from me and the kids. He said that wasn't fair, and I told him it wasn't fair that we were being excluded from his family vacation. Am I the asshole for not getting him anything for his birthday? Me personally say no. If he's going to choose that family over his immediate family, then no. If I were you, I would not be enabling this holiday by giving him money to split the difference or make up the difference of money that he doesn't have. If he wants to continue this holiday plan, he can ask everyone else that he's going on that vacation with for birthday money to make up what he doesn't have. I think that's fair enough. Not the asshole OP. Now in the comments, Jaigo8 says, I would not marry a man who condoned this behavior from his mother. I would not marry a man who is, in effect, telling his sons that your sons are not family. I would not marry this man, not the asshole. You will never be included. I live this. Please don't do this to yourself or children. You all deserve love and inclusion. I regret not leaving, and you will too, as it only gets worse. Design Dork says, not the asshole. Your fiancé isn't standing up for you or your kids and is essentially confirming his mother's view that you are not family. Why would you be expected to pay for a family vacation for a family you are not a part of? And edit, I would take this as a sign of things to come and make him an ex-fiancé. And he'd trade them all for as little as a partly paid for vacation with a horrible woman. OP, if you marry this guy, you're going to pay for it for the rest of your time together. Not the asshole, and good for you for standing up for yourself and your kids thus far, but hold strong and run. Let me get this straight. Your future mother-in-law wants to take your significant other and his kids on a vacay, expressly told you that you couldn't go, and he went along with it until he was told that no, it wasn't totally free, so now he wants you to give him money for the vacation you're still not going on? Not the asshole at all. Tell him to enjoy his partially paid for birthday present from his mom, and possibly think about keeping your finances separate after you get married. Our next post is by user No Worldliness, titled, Am I the asshole for expecting my stepdaughter to cover the cost of items broken under her care? My actual daughter, Willow, is a good girl, but she's very energetic, and unless she is with somebody who can pay attention, things can go wrong. My stepdaughter Ashley is well aware of this, as she usually looks after her on weekends while her father and I are out, which is why I think it's fair for her to take responsibility for anything that does go wrong under her care. I recently purchased a beautiful sculpture, something I had my eye on for a while, a unique piece that held a lot of meaning to me. Ashley was reminded to take care and make sure nothing happened to it, and to cut a long story short, Ashley was too busy watching Netflix to watch over Willow, which resulted in it being completely destroyed. While I'm not hunting for money, this was a one-of-a-kind sculpture, and I don't think it's fair for Ashley to stand by and let it be ruined and to walk away unscathed. Ashley has a part-time job and more than enough money to buy herself clothing, makeup, junk food, and a number of other things, so I don't think this is so unreasonable a request. But her mother went ballistic after she found out that her father and I expected her to save up to cover the cost of the item. I don't personally see the problem here, but a few family friends have gotten involved, and the situation has gotten rather messy. Am I being unfair here? Am I the asshole? And edit for everyone asking, Willow is 6, Ashley is 17. You're the asshole, absolutely, in this situation. If you want Willow not going around destroying things, either put that sculpture somewhere that Willow isn't going to destroy it, teach Willow not to go around destroying things, look after your own kid, have some respect for your stepchildren and not say things like, oh, my actual daughter, Willow, and just be a better person all round, because you sound very jaded when you've written this, and it does come across as you being an asshole. Your actual daughter destroying something does not make your stepdaughter liable for paying for that sculpture. I'm sorry to say, that's not how this works out. You're the asshole. Now in the comments, Laura Jen says, you're the asshole. If you don't like the way she babysits your daughter, then parent your own child. Literally, she lost me at actual daughter. You're the asshole, OP, based on that sentence alone. And what do you want to bet that they don't pay the stepdaughter for babysitting? Because she's enough of a sister to not be an actual babysitter who needs to be paid, but not enough of an actual daughter to be treated well. Right? I'm guessing she isn't paid, or else OP would have probably said I withheld her pay to cover the cost of what was broken. Man, I might get indifferent about watching the kid too if it was every weekend and I had a job on top of that. If OP isn't hurting for money, she can hire a babysitter or pay her poor stepdaughter. Where's the dad in this scenario? I'd whoop some butt if my kid was treated like that by their step-parent. Or, you know, like, don't have an effing sculpture where your 6-year-old will frickin' break it? Like, what the hell kind of parenting is that? Your daughter broke your crap that you just had out there where an effing kid could effing break it. Sounds more like she was setting her fake daughter up for this kind of thing to go wrong. I mean, sure, if the 17-year-old unlocked the room the 6-year-old wasn't supposed to be in and then just walked away to watch Netflix, then yeah, totally make her pay for it. But if you put breakable crap where a kid is allowed to play, then that crap is on you. OP is a huge asshole, and so is the husband if he's taking her side. Unless if there's more info, but to me it sounds like OP has some issues with her fake daughter that she needs to take care of. You're the asshole. You lost me at actual daughter. How about you hire a babysitter instead of forcing your stepdaughter to take care of your actual daughter so you can go out? Parents checking in here. You don't have precious fragile items out amongst small children if you're worried they'll break. Also, your stepdaughter is your actual daughter as well, and not your staff. You're the asshole. I used to say, if it can't survive the dishwasher or the washing machine or my kids, it doesn't belong in my house. Anyway guys, I think that's where I'm going to end today's video. If you did like it, tell me what you thought about it down in the comments below, and make sure to just interact with everyone in this community. I love each and every one of you that I get to see on a daily basis. And don't forget, if you are a Patreon subscriber, I love you. You're on the screen right now with the YouTube members as well. If you see yourself, give yourself a pat in the back. You guys help me continue this YouTube journey. You keep me going. I see you guys everywhere. I see your messages, and thank you so much for supporting me. I really love every single one of you. But with that all said, I'm going to be signing off now, guys. I hope you have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.